spurring you on. My name is Cynthia, and my goal today is to spur you on by sharing part 10 of my health journey. In the last video, I told you that my oncologist ordered a DEXA scan for me, which is an imaging test that measures bone density. Here is what the machine looks like. Thankfully, this test did not involve needles, which made it the easiest procedure that I have had done. This is the graph that doctors use to show the level of bone density. The green area is normal. The orange is low density, called osteopenia, and the red indicates porous bones that lead to fractures. Now that graph was not mine. Mine showed that I was at the very bottom of the red, which is severe osteoporosis. But that explained all the fractures. I forgot to tell you before, but at the same time, I fractured a rib and had no idea how I did it. They say that you can even sneeze and fracture something in your body when you have severe osteoporosis. I want to tell you about something that I think really did a lot of damage to my health. But first, I want to read you a quote from the book of Psalms, chapter 95, verses 6 through 8. Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts, as you did at Meribah, as you did the day at Massah in the desert. This quote was originally written to the Israelites. Today, I want to focus on the part that says, do not harden your hearts. I searched the word heart to find out what it literally meant when it was written, and it means the inner man, the mind, or the will. I believe I hardened my mind to what I had heard about eating well. Over 20 years ago, I woke up with my eye, the area around my eye, swollen like somebody had hit me with a baseball. I went to the doctor, and the doctor diagnosed it as eczema and prescribed steroids for me. I did not feel good about taking steroids, so I went to my local health food store. And it just so happened that that day they had a doctor of naturopathy there, and she was taking blood samples, putting it under a microscope, and talking to people about their blood. My blood showed that I had candida in it, and so she suggested that I do a cleanse. So I did the cleanse, and after 2 days, I looked normal again. Or at least the swelling had gone down, and I thought I was okay. At that time, I changed only some of my eating habits. Since the swelling of my eye had gone down and I didn't look like a monster anymore, I thought I was fine. I didn't realize that I needed to change more of my eating habits, and I especially did not realize that I needed to work on my stress levels. Stress can wreak havoc on our health, and that's all I'll say about that for right now. But later I want to do a video about stress and what it does to our bodies. In the meantime, take a deep breath and try to lower your stress level. You know, we allow harmful things to come our way just because of a lack of knowledge. I wrote in my journal at that time, I am learning so much. I should have taken the time years ago to sit quietly and ask God how I should eat and manage my stress. I should have waited till I heard his voice. I should have educated myself about Candida and health in general. When obvious symptoms appear, especially around the facial area like rashes or swelling, or when we have reoccurring headaches or stomach issues, or when we're exhausted, we need to do something about it. We need to get healthy. You know, sometimes we get motivated and we decide to get on the right path, and when we find out that there is too much discipline involved, we give up. Some find it easier to take an aspirin or some other medication than to change their diet, their exercise, and their stress levels. Ouch! Get off my toe! Oh yeah, I'm stepping on my own toes today. I think it is better to speak of what we get to do instead of what we can't do. For an example, it is better to say, I get to eat wonderful, healthy foods that energize my body and bring life to me, instead of saying, I don't get to eat donuts anymore. When trying to establish good habits, I like to make lists out like this one and keep it before my eyes. For several days I wrote out this list, and then I took the list and I would put it in different places in my home where I would go to often, and that way I would see my list of good foods, keeping it before my eyes. I need to remind myself. Do you ever decide, I'm going to eat right and healthy? Then find yourself right in the middle of a bag of potato chips and then say to yourself, oh yeah, I remember, I was going to eat well today. We are so used to giving in to our cravings. I sometimes forget that I have healthier choices and fall back on eating foods that are not good for me. Foods that do not promote the healthy life that I desire. A good idea is to cut out pictures or print them out of good foods and place them where you can see them, keeping them before our eyes. I do not keep any junk food at all out on my counters to where I can see them. If I have anything on my counters, it's something that is a healthy choice. If you consistently see junk food, don't be surprised at your great desire for it. I'm spurring you on to keep healthy food choices before your eyes. Let me know in the comments below how I can spur you on further. And if you want to email me, there's an address in the description below. You can spur me on by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. Commenting and sharing the video with others is always a blessing. Until the next time, I'm spurring you on toward love and good deeds.